Take two. I had done like a minute and a half of video before this, and it just stopped. Maybe it's on a timer or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, welcome to the Writer's Life, a place where you get the sights, sounds, smells, tastes, whatever you want from my particular writer's life, and you also get the truth with a big capital T. Subscribe, smash that like button, hit the bell for notifications so that you don't miss out. I sound like a Canadian. So that you do not miss out on one of these super exciting videos. God knows they're so exciting, right? The writing process. The more you do it, the easier it gets. That's the subject of today's little thing. Writing is hard. I think it's the hardest art out there. Hemingway said the same thing. It's the hardest thing, hardest job in the world. But it's a lot harder for people that maybe write one novel a year, one novel every 2 years, one novel every 5 years, like a lot of college professors do, that type. And that's because they just, they have their manuscripts and they ruminate over every single word and sentence and graph and, the comma's not in the right place, is that the right word, or they scratch it out, they put it back in, they scratch it out, they put it back in. You get where I'm going. It's a struggle. But when you write at pulp speed like I do, and like Wesley Smith does, or some of the old pulp writers of the past, you're used to doing 2,000 to 3,000 words a day, plus other writing, like articles and stuff like that. Your brain is just attuned to putting that type of word count in, and also, so you can train your brain to just become this machine, this word machine. But at the same time, you're training it to become a storytelling machine. And like I've said 100 times before, you do not need to know what's going to happen next in order to know what's going to happen now. That's as far as it goes. That's all you need to know. You only need to know what's happening right this minute on the page. And then that will determine what happens next. Simple as that. So if you're ever worried about writer's block, just remember that. And when you think about it, that's kind of like real life, because like we never really know what's going to happen tomorrow, do we? I mean, we can plan, we can script. You can try to control everything, but you never know. I mean, like a meteor hits the earth, bye-bye dinosaurs. It all happened in a second, right? They probably got up and did their thing, whatever dinosaurs did every day, probably eat and kill. A coronavirus comes out of a lab in China and a whole bunch of humans die. A great flood hits, bye-bye all humans, just about. You just can never tell what's going to happen tomorrow. So, but you can control what happens now. And like today, I will write 2,000 words on a new story I have going. I always have a new story going. Several new stories sometimes. Anyway, that's it. I hope you're having a great Monday. And I'll see you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.